Real quickly before we jump into the video, if you guys are interested in G Fuel at all, if you go over to gfuel.com right now and apply code ESPRESSO at checkout, it gives you 30% off for the next few days rather than just the standard 10%. So if you're looking to take advantage of a deal, now's a better time than ever. That said, back to the regularly scheduled content. So starting tomorrow, we have an absolutely massive week of Call of Duty Black Ops 4 content and everything that will be coming to the game. So because of that, we're gonna do our things to look out for that we normally do every Monday. We're actually doing it now today here on Sunday because again, as of tomorrow, we start with all these things. So we're gonna have coverage of that here on the channel. But that said, we have so much, and honestly, it's the biggest one we've done thus far. 16 things to look out for this week within Black Ops 4. I'm gonna try and breeze through as much of this as possible so I don't keep you too long, but I wanna give you guys all the information on what to keep your eyes out for this week. That said, let's just jump right into it. By the indications from the blog post that detailed Operation Absolute Zero, the title update seems to be going out tomorrow as of Monday, not necessarily Tuesday. So consider it maybe sort of a preloading thing where you're gonna have some changes you can jump into, and depending on the size, it might turn out to be a very good thing because then you'll be able to jump into the operation right whenever it launches at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I believe 6 p.m. GMT. But based off what we're told, it's something that's going to be bigger than last week's title update, which was 14 gigabytes to 22 gigabytes depending on the platform that you're on. So if I were to give you an educated guess, I'd say anywhere from 15 to 20 gigabytes on PlayStation 4, maybe a little larger, but then also around 25 gigabytes or so on Xbox One and PC, if the title update scaling is similar to what we saw last week. But that said, the title update is going to be coming, so make sure you're around your console or able to start it. If you don't have the best internet speed, so you can jump on and take advantage of the stuff that actually is changing tomorrow, but then also so you have it ready for Tuesday when all the big changes come into effect. Now, again, as of tomorrow, we do have some changes, and they're not as big as what we'll see on Tuesday, but Blackout is going to showcase a few big changes as well. Firstly, we're going to see a Blackout thematic map change. So my guess, we're going to see some snow on the map. As for where that might be, your guess is as good as mine, but it was detailed specifically to keep your eyes out for things like Hydro Dam, Factory, and Nuketown Island. If I were to give you an educated guess on that one, I think Hydro Dam will actually be iced over. I think we'll see some snow there and some cold, chillier weather in terms of what visuals can happen there. And while it might not make sense that much water will end up freezing, it would be kind of cool to be able to jump into the water and walk across the top of that up at the top portion of Hydro Dam. Nuketown, I have no idea what we'll see with that, but Factory I think would be cool to see turned into a toy factory. But again, your guess is as good as mine. We'll see that starting tomorrow though, so keep your eyes open for that. Maybe we're right on these predictions, maybe not. Other than that, we'll see some huge Blackout changes in terms of core gameplay mechanics. What was detailed were a few things in weapon balancing, which include the SDM and Spitfire, two weapons that of course I think definitely do need some adjustments here to it, so I'm interested to see where this goes. Audio improvements, it seems like we're gonna get a whole audio overhaul to that system, so it's a lot more accurate and you can end up feeling more comfortable with your headset if you end up listening for enemies or anything in the game. And then finally, the biggest one that I am super excited for is the armor repair system. We've talked about this many times here on the channel, but essentially for those guys that may be new, if you play Blackout and you play aggressively, you're pretty much punished late game for playing aggressively because you have to either get lucky and find a level 1 or level 2, or hope you can get to a crate without being sniped for a level 3 or something like that, because chances are if you play aggressively, you'll lose your armor or damage it, but then there's probably going to be somebody in the final circle that's been camping all game with a level 2, level 3 that just has that extra sponging ability that when you put your shots into them, it's a little bit of a lopsided gunfight. So this armor repair system promises to be something that we can mitigate that a little bit, and we can end up getting some armor back or having the ability to craft something so it makes those late game gunfights a little more balanced. But then after that, we end up moving over into the things that will actually happen Tuesday. Again, like we said, the title update will happen tomorrow, but these things we'll talk about going forward are more so time gated for Tuesday, and then we'll talk about one that actually happens on Wednesday as well. That said, the first thing up is we'll see that brand new specialist. Zero is her name. We got that detailed to us in that official blog post talking about Operation Absolute Zero. And this one, while we don't have all that much information in regards to what her utility and ultimate are, if you want to call them that, we don't know exactly what those may be. We did get that indication from the first initial teaser trailer that it looks like an EMP grenade of some sort, and that seemingly would fit the MO, a hacker taking down some devices or score streaks that an enemy may end up getting. So that's something that might be very useful, and we might end up seeing that confirmed as of Tuesday. And perhaps the ultimate something that is more lethal, or I guess the higher ability that you can end up getting, maybe that's a power core of some sorts, where again, it's something that lasts a little bit longer, as with what we saw back in previous titles. Regardless, that's going to be coming Tuesday and will be available in the brand new Contraband stream, which we'll talk about in just a second, at tier 1. So all you got to do is play like one game, if that, because it's probably the default ranking you end up getting, so you'll have it right off the bat. That said, the new Contraband stream is also something that is going to be coming on Tuesday. It's completely reworked. We don't know if the timing for everything in terms of ranking up tiers is going to be different, but it's a lot more condensed. It's a lot more, what I think is a little more consumer friendly based off of what we have in theory. There's only going to be 100 items per that first Contraband stream. Then after that, you get into the black operations, but the beautiful part is there is absolutely no reserves in those first 100 items. And scattered throughout that, we'll of course see more customization items, new camos even, something I'm very excited about, the brand new weapons, which we'll talk about in just a second. Those are going to be available just for simply playing the game, and by them being a lot more condensed in something that doesn't take as much time, it should be something that, again, it's a lot easier for the players to end up getting the items. Additionally, on top of that, we'll get more Blackout characters, new Mastercraft items, and one big awesome change here to this is that we're no longer going to get decals in the reserve items here for this. So it's taking one of the most useless and abundant pieces of what we've seen in this season's Contraband stream and taking it out so that it doesn't muddy up or water down any of the loot pool that is in place for the upcoming operation. So that's something absolutely awesome, and I'm very much so looking forward to seeing what's on deck here with this. Next up on Tuesday comes brand new weapons, 3 of them to be exact: the Daemon 3XB, the SWAT RFT, and the Secret Santa melee weapon. The Daemon is an SMG and the SWAT is a rifle. Those will of course be available for all players, but again, they are kind of stuck behind that tier progression, which is a bit of a bummer. So you will see people that do cash out and try and get it first day, but you also will probably have an easier way to grind it because, again, there's only 100 items in that clearly defined. These aren't stuck in reserves or anything like that. They're right there for you to check out. So if I were to guess, maybe we'd see it around tier 25, tier 50, tier 75, or something similar, but that is something that they will be available and there for just anybody to grind out. I'd be very happy if Activision and Treyarch decide, you know what, Black Ops Pass content holders, you guys get these for free right off the bat, but I don't think that will actually happen. But these weapons won't be up to RNG chance. It will be something that just takes a little bit longer to get them, or again, if you do want to buy them outright, that is something you can do as well. Then after that, talking about DLC weapons, if you don't want to spend any money on them and you want to get some hands-on immediately, you'll have the opportunity for Blackjack's Gun Game, a gun game variation from Black Ops 3 that was all from DLC weapons, but seemingly since there's only 3 DLC weapons right now in Black Ops 4 as of Tuesday, it's going to be the regular gun game with these new weapons thrown in the mix as well. So you can get some hands-on action with them, see if you like them and worth grinding out with this featured playlist coming on Tuesday. But then let's take a little bit of a break away from what we see with multiplayer. Operation Absolute Zero, with starting on Tuesday, does offer a lot to multiplayer, but it also offers a lot to other areas of the game as well. The big one for Blackout is that we're going to get a brand new POI, or point of interest, within the map, that being Hijacked. Right in between Nuketown Island and Construction, right off the shoreline, there's going to be Hijacked right there, and this one's going to be definitely really interesting. I'm super stoked to see how it plays, what kind of loot there is, what they end up doing with this, how much is actually accessible, if it's going to be like another cargo where there's actually a ton of loot and a lot of places to go. We'll see, but one big thing that I'm definitely curious on, though, on how it plays, is if that's one of the late game circles, because it's one thing to swim away from the boat after all the chaos has died down, but then there's only going to be seemingly, I don't know, maybe 3 points of entry, and people probably already camping there. That'll be interesting, because that is not a lot of choke points you could breach and clear from a different angle. So it might reward campers right off the bat, but regardless, Hijacked is going to be a brand new POI on Tuesday in Blackout. As for zombies, there's actually a lot of stuff coming here at this. So for those guys that are interested in zombies, definitely get excited for this one, because firstly, we have the zombies tier skip. That's something that you guys have been asking for quite some time. We don't have any indication yet if this is going to actually count all in-game playtime towards your black market progression, but if you end up getting to round 15 on any of the classic modes and on any map, you can end up skipping 1 tier in the black market per day. So that's something that is great. You can end up finally getting some representation for that black market stream by playing zombies. I'm really hoping that, again, it goes full out and all progress ends up working towards that as well. But additionally, we also have the brand new Black Ops Authenticity Stamp system, which is a brand new way to share your stats in custom games and essentially be like, hey, I did this, see if you can try and top it. So definitely cool to kind of share those experiences around with the community and any friends that you may have online also. But then the final thing with zombies is the Winter Calling event, which is something that will be added in, and we don't have any information here on this as of yet, but it seems like it might be the sort of customization items and things coming along with that as well, compared to what we'll see on Wednesday for everybody in multiplayer and Blackout, the brand new winter event starting that day as well. So that will lead us into the Wednesday items, in which just like the Halloween event, it's 1 day delayed. We'll probably have anywhere from maybe 20 to 50 tiers of things to rank up and grind through for specific holiday-themed items. I'm looking forward to seeing what customization and what sort of things we may see. I'm hoping there's some camos in there, not necessarily just emotes and uniforms that I won't necessarily care all that much for in 2 weeks' time. Outside of things that are added in just with this title update and some other things getting into minor details and some speculation, the other minor detail is that as of Tuesday, Xbox One and PC will have access to the MX9 Patriot in Blackjack's shop, or rather in the special orders that you can end up getting. I'm not a fan of this one, again, because it is a pre-order bonus and it's $10 still, which is a steep price tag for all this. But for those of you guys that don't have the MX9 Patriot, want to maybe collect anything that you may be missing, that's going to be available for you guys for a week starting on Tuesday. Then moving over into some speculation stuff, this is where we start to really see some things that may happen, but may equally as well not happen. Firstly, I'm partially expecting the brand new DLC Zombies map to come, that being something that was leaked as of last title update. We saw some people glitch out, they had characters, they had even the map itself show up in their DLC map selection in custom games, so that might be something that comes along as well on Tuesday. And then on the flip side, the second to last thing we'll talk about is potentially new DLC maps in multiplayer, kind of encompassing that in Zombies, bringing us a brand new air quote DLC 1 full-fledged map offering, which may be the first thing for the Black Ops patch that we end up seeing, because as we know, Nuketown and Firing Range, Night and Seaside Sunset did not count towards that. Our new specialist isn't going to count towards that, but we've yet to see anything in terms of new Zombies offerings or any new multiplayer maps and any new Blackout characters as well since the game is launched, and we're now, as of the time of this going live, just about 2 months into the life cycle of Black Ops 4, so it is right around that time where it would make sense. So keep an eye out for that as well. Then the final thing we'll talk about deals with potentially a massive weapon balancing pass. We know that we have some things in Blackout with the SDM and Spitfire already detailed, but there are a lot of things that I would expect to be patched and updated as well. One big one of those being the Titan LMG. That thing is an absolute powerhouse. It shreds through absolutely anything, and believe it or not, it has not been touched since Black Ops 4 is launched, which is kind of ridiculous. So I'm curious to see what will come of that, but that is where we're gonna round out this video here at this 16 things in Black Ops 4 to look out for this week. Again, an absolutely massive week on deck here for us. So hopefully you guys are excited. There's a lot to come in the next upcoming days, so look forward to that if you guys are interested in any of it. Of course, we'll keep you up to date with all things you need to know about Black Ops 4 as the week progresses. We'll be having guides on how everything breaks down and how everything works out for you guys that are interested. But if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like down below. Let me know your thoughts in the comments as well. What are you looking forward to the most here out of this upcoming week? And if you guys want to stay up to date with all things Black Ops 4, multiplayer, Blackout, Zombies, we got you covered with the best of updates, news, information, guides, tutorials, best class setups, all that good stuff. So if you're interested in any of that, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing. If you guys also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected outside of YouTube. Practically live on both those. So if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it is, link in the description below. That said, thanks so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso, and I'll see you guys later. Take care, and I'm excited for the next week of Black Ops 4. Hopefully you are as well. Peace.